What's up, Hokie Nation, and welcome into the final version of the Brent Pry press conference breakdown as Virginia Tech looks to knock off Virginia for the 19th time in 20 tries when it plays host to the Cavaliers on Saturday night in Lane Stadium. First things first, will Kyron Drones, Colin Schlee be available? Are we going to get an answer? Let's see.
I don't have the answer to that right now. They're both questionable. I'd say Schlee's probably a little further along, but I wish I felt better about it today.
Will both practice this week?
Limited to a degree where they may just be watching. They're in treatment protocol, both of them.
Okay, so when you really break that down, I don't think we'll see Kyron Drones this weekend. Will Colin Schlee go? We'll see. So Pop Watson, for now, is the starting quarterback. So is he taking the number one reps this week? And if so, how much can that help him after playing at Duke? Here we go.
Obviously, right now, he'll get the reps with the ones in practice today. And he needs it, and he'll benefit from it. Those Colin and Kyron have had a ton of reps all year. Obviously, Kyron, for 2 years. So Pop getting these significant snaps with the starting group is going to help him. He repped last week a bunch with the second group, but it'll be good to get him this work. And then the other guy that's certainly getting some attention right now in practice is Davi. He's getting some work, just like in that game Saturday night, he was one play away from having to lead the offense. So right now we've got 4 quarterbacks we're trying to get ready to play.
So since Virginia Tech obviously is going to have to prepare 4 quarterbacks, what has Davi Belfort's development been like this year? Because he is now one snap away from being the starting quarterback. Here we go.
Yeah, first of all, he's a headsy guy. He's intelligent. He's got great wheels. He runs around really good. That part of the offense. He's very eager. He's anxious to learn, to know. He's still just a pup. He's young. He didn't get here till the summer with us, and so obviously there's an uphill climb there, but he's got some strengths to go along with the inexperience.
The other thing too, 8 sacks for Virginia Tech against Duke. How would Pry evaluate Virginia Tech on the offensive line on Saturday night? Let's see.
Yeah, I thought, for the most part, we were pretty good hat-on-hat in the run game. I was disappointed in a couple of penalties at the point of attack. We got to be better there. Negated some big plays. Put us in the hole. I think from a protection standpoint, you go back and look at the sacks, and more of those are on our quarterback, setting the protection wrong, maybe not getting rid of the ball in a timely fashion. And then a couple of them are miscues, where we could have made a communication call even though we set the protection wrong. Let's make this call to help us. We don't get that done. And then there's a couple of pops where we just got beat. We lost a one-on-one battle.
And then how much of a byproduct is that of Pop really never being in that situation? Here we go.
Yeah, for instance, there's a play where he set it right with the same look earlier and then comes back later and doesn't set it right. It's a lot for him out there. And Duke does a good job with what they present and then what they actually do. It's a lot for those quarterbacks to see. And so, there were some snaps he did a nice job with it, and there were some snaps he didn't get it right.
The other thing, too, big passing plays. Obviously, that is what ridiculed Virginia Tech on Saturday in Durham. It was 14-0 before you could even blink your eyes twice, 6 minutes into the game. So as a defensive coach, as Andy Bitter talked about on the Tech Sideline podcast, how much does that irk Brent Pry to continue to give up those big plays? Here we go.
Yeah, very frustrating. I think it's been a couple of things. It's been playing the ball. It's been coverage miscues, poor eyes, and then occasionally good plays, which will occur by the other team. But, for a group that generates pretty good pass rush, we should be better there.
And then looking at the Cavaliers, what are Pry's first thoughts on Anthony Calandria and Virginia's offense as a whole? Here we go.
Yeah, they're a much improved offense. I think he's playing better. He's making better decisions. He's still, really a good runner. He's athletic. He's fast. He's tough. He's got a strong arm. He gets the ball down the field, as you said. He got a big target in number 8. He's got over 50 catches. They've been a group that I think, when you look at what they've done really well, they're probably pretty pleased in some of those games with what they've been able to do. And we know we'll get their best effort. But the offense, it really does go through him. He's a scrambler. You got to keep eyes on him, trying to contain him and play coverage. And they've been able to run the ball at times on people. So it's a much improved group.
And then just to kind of zigzag the conversation, with the season kind of wrapping up, in fact, it is this weekend on the regular season side of things, very quickly, the attention is going to be turned to the transfer portal and National Signing Day, which takes place next week. So how much emphasis is placed on that right now throughout the program? Let's see.
Yeah, so what's changed a little bit is now the month of December is a quiet period. So the coaches are not on the road, which is really different. But the second thing is they've moved the signing day up. So this group of high school players that we have committed that I'm very excited about, we've got to get them to the finish line. Some of those guys, half the group are early enrollees, which would be coming here mid-January. So great urgency with those guys. And then also you start building your transfer list. Anytime there's been a coach dismissed, those guys immediately are eligible. A lot of these FCS programs seasons are finished. So those boards are already building out. And then you go back to your logistics sheet. You look at what your attrition will be potentially. The guys you lose to eligibility, they're seniors, they're clocked out. Guys you may lose early to the draft, guys that may transfer. What are your needs? Do you need a starter at this spot? Do you need a depth guy at this spot? What do you need to go to the portal for? So that's a lot. It's going to be a pretty hectic couple of weeks.
So there you have it. Virginia Tech and Virginia coming up on Saturday night from Lane Stadium, 8 p.m. on the ACC network. If you're coming to Blacksburg, bundle up because it is supposed to be 27 degrees at kickoff. So please, if you're coming, bring those extra layers. Hokies, Cavaliers this weekend. Appreciate you tuning in and appreciate you tuning in all year long to the Brent Pry press conference breakdown as we wrap it up in week 12. Thanks for checking in, and we'll talk to you tomorrow for the Tech Sideline Podcast.